Matt Roberts shows off his new hot rod at East Coast Customs, and racing action from Penn Can and Thunder Mountain. Welcome to another edition of The Race Report. Hi everyone and welcome to another edition of the Race Report. I'm Ron Hills. We begin this week with highlights from Penn Can Speedway. Here's track announcer Craig Hawley.
Young Folk throws the green and we're racing down the front straightaway. Into corner number one they go. It is all Jonathan Jasko out front, the 08 ride. Hitzler is second, Regante third, then they're side by side, 3 rows deep behind them. In between corner 3 and 4, leading lap number 1 is Jonathan Jasko. 3 wide behind him. Down the front straightaway they ride. Lap number 1 in the books. Jonathan Jasko continuing to show the way up the back straightaway. Regante right there in the number 2 spot. Third is the 9 of Hitzler. Fourth is the 49 of Carver. And right now 5th is the 63 of Eric Boyd. Into 3 and 4. Look at the battle for the lead. Jasko on the outside. Travis Regante. Regante battling it out. Hitzler right there looking for racing room, as is Carver. They make contact in the front. Tim Van Horn Jr. gets it going. Problems on the front stretch though for the 63. Yellow on the speedway for the 63. Hard contact in the back of the 63. Time may run out. Just 1 lap to go for the 08 of Jonathan Jasko. From his outside pole position and never looked back. Was challenged throughout by the 11S of Regante. But off turn 4, picking up the north versus south. Excel 600cc, Torrey Venice, Jonathan Jasko, Regante, McCrone, Hitzler, and Bartek round out your top 5. Nick Folk with the green flag ready to go, unleashes the beasts of fury down the front straightaway. Chuck Culbertson and the 57 of Jeremy Williams all the way down to the turn number 1. Culbertson out front, Williams second, Groover third, hang on Delaney and Towner. Good battle up front. Here comes Williams to the inside of Culbertson. They set it down in the turn number 3 and 4. Groover looking for some racing room, following the tire tracks of Jeremy Williams. Continues to ride. Culbertson out front looking for that elusive first Penn Can victory. Driver makes a long tow down from the Walton, New York area. Over the 57 of Jeremy Williams, driver out of Montrose. Into turn 3 for the final time. The Thrill Billy, Chuck Culbertson, makes a long trip down from Walton, New York. Rides it down to turn number 3 and 4. Final time, checkered flag in hand. Off turn number 4 for the first time in his driving career, he'll go to Penn Can Speedway victory lane. Chuck Culbertson, Jeremy Williams, Chris Groover, Paul Conklin. Young Folky with the green flag in hand. We're racing off turn number 4. Across start finish line, we make it clean and green. Problems for Ray Leonard on the drop of the green. He does get it going, keeping it going. Nick Branning out front, that number 12 B ride. He rides off turn number 4. He'll lead lap number 1. A couple of veterans behind him, and Mike Shane and Marty Bunker. Shane right there on his heels as they ride up the back straightaway. Ray Leonard going to go pit side to 3R. Side by side for the lead. It's the 12 of Branning. The M16 of Shane. They ride up the back straightaway, followed by Bunker. Gully and O'Hara side by side off turn number 4 for the race lead. Here comes the Hamlin Hurricane, Mike Shane. Nick Branning not done yet on the top side. Mike Shane takes away the race lead on lap number 3. Branning right there in that number 2 spot. Bunker is 3rd. 4th is Gully. 5th, O'Hara. 6th, Decker. Mady 7th. Coons 8th. McGurran 9th. Barton 10th. Gully into the back of Branning. Here comes Marty Bunker. He'll try to battle into the 3rd position. He'll muscle his way along. He's not done yet. He's going to take 2nd. The KG veteran just did a veteran move from 4th to 2nd. Can he have anything to chase down the M16 of Mike Shane? Bunker right there hot on his heels. Moose Gully right there. Bunker into the back of Mike Shane. Shane somehow able to straighten it up. Wow, that's all I can say. Wow. In turn number 4. White silk in the sky. One more time around the speedway for the M16 of Mike Shane. Looking to back up his performance from a week ago. Mike Shane leads him up the backstretch and into turn 3 for the final time. Checkered flag in the air, 2 in a row for Mike Shane. Marty Bunker 2nd, Moose Gully 3rd, Nick Branning 4th, and 5th will go to the 44 of Jim O'Hara.
The CRSA Sprint Tour was on hand at Penn Can Friday night. For the call of the action, here's the voice of CRSA, Ed Kochersberger.
19 car strong, the CRSA Super Gen Products Series with Champion Power Equipment. Head starter Gary Folk has the green flag in hand, getting ready for Thomas Radovoy and Sidney Prince as they file in behind them. Going down into turn 3 and 4. On the hammer, getting ready, set to go. We're underway. Radovoy takes an early advantage, and right behind him looks like Jeff Traumey taking an advantage of Sidney Prince as he goes off into turn 3 in pursuit of Radovoy right now. Down for lap 1. Got one lap in the books. Radovoy with a lead, but out back we have 2x2 from 4th position on back. Fighting for a little further back there. Kyle Smith in the 17, Jeff Quackenbush up ahead of him. As Sidney Prince goes down to the bottom, the same area Brett Jaycox was looking for in the 4th position. As we got a 3-wide battle up there, for looks like for about 6th, 7th, and 8th position. Kyle Smith making a big move going down into turn 3 and 4, and now he's working on Dalton Herrick for the 4th position. Give Kyle Smith 4th position from the 9th restart position. He is on the move early. Coming out of turn 4 is quite the congestion right now in the backside of the field. Meanwhile, up front, Radovoy, and we have trouble up in turn number 1. Looks like the 112 again of Mike Van Pelt. Montgomery, New York's Mike Van Pelt. Got up and over up in turn number 1. Mike Van Pelt, the number 112 car out of Montgomery, New York. Eddie Strada looking on the inside. A little bit of Jeff Traumey. He thought twice of it with that lap car in the way. Pushing out of turn 3 and 4, but it looks like Strada had trouble with the lap car of Jerry Sen. We have 2 laps to go from head starter Gary Folk. Down the back straightaway, Thomas Radovoy, clean and green, most of this feature for him. As he receives the white flag from Gary Folk one more time around. This is going to be Thomas Radovoy's race to lose at this point. Jeff Traumey hanging on to 2nd. The hard charger, Eddie Strada, the Microsport standout in 3rd. Coming out of turn 3 in the Country 4 and the Country Service entry, Thomas Radovoy picks up his 2nd win of 2017. Jeff Traumey 2nd. Eddie Strada 3rd. Looks like Dalton Herrick 4th. Top 5 goes to Jeff Quackenbush, Billy Van Inwigen.
In modified action, it was a repeat win for Dan Pompey. Here again is Craig Hawley.
Off turn number 4, they all negotiated down the front straightaway. 3 wide out front. Momentarily, Pompey took a look-see down to the bottom. 3 wide, middle of the pack. They straighten it out into turn number 3. They're all chasing the stalker, Kevin Hartnett. Joey Colston right there in position number 2 on the back bumper. Gets a great run, but he dives into the corner hard. Colston able to turn the car around. He is banged up, though, in the front end of that one. Hartnett on the accelerator. Green flag is out. Pompey glued to the bottom. Down the front straightaway there, side by side into turn number 1. Dan Pompey on the bottom. Hartnett on the outside. Colston motors up into the 3rd position. Problems for Joey Gramis around by himself in turn 4. Darwin Green upside down. Red flag going to come out on the speedway. Kevin Hartnett, the race leader, he fires between 3 and 4. Green flag is back out. We're racing down the front straightaway. Lap number 4, restart, 26 to go. Hartnett on the outside of the speedway. Pompey down low. Vaughter up the 3rd. Colston 4th. Mady 5th. Side by side for the race lead, Dan Pompey to the inside of Hartnett. Making his way up to the field, Joey Gramis. Out front, side by side, Hartnett and Pompey racing with a race lead. And down into turn number 1 and 2. 6 laps down, complete. Hartnett again, motors out front, but Pompey, he'll stick it down on the bottom. He'll glue it down on turn number 4. He will pull alongside again. That time at the line, it's Hartnett by a bumper, but Pompey not coming off the bottom. Dan Pompey trying to wheel his way up to the front. It's all Kevin Hartnett out front. Off turn number 4, Hartnett with the advantage. Pompey down low. Side by side for 3rd. Vaughter has it. Colston going to motor his way into the number 3 spot. As they ride into turn 3 and 4, Kevin Hartnett out front showing the way from the drop of the green from the outside pole position. He has been pressured for the last 6 laps by the 11 of Dan Pompey. Battle for 3rd as Vaughter down to the inside of Colston. Colston gets up on a tire. They straighten it out and go down to the turn 3. Now Colston does a switcheroo. Vaughter with some damage on that right rear. And Dan Vaughter going pit side. Off of corner number 2. It continues to be the 88 of Hartnett. Pompey right there in his tire tracks in the number 2 spot. Gets a great run. Off turn number 4. He were dead heat at the line. Pompey up and over the cushion. Now Pompey on the bottom. Hartnett back on the top side. What a battle out front. Pompey gonna one more time stick it down low and Hartnett up high. Side by side, Pompey motors ahead. Here comes Hartnett right back up on the top side. Going to get a great run up turn number 2. He's going to pull back ahead. Hartnett takes him down to turn number 3. Pompey right there, 2nd on the bottom. What a race up front as we are 1 lap shy of halfway. Now Pompey moses back ahead. Hartnett going to get another good run out turn 2, but Dan Pompey looking to go 2 in a row tonight. Hartnett not done yet. He's going to put it right back up on the top side where it's been all night long on the top shelf. Dan Pompey looking for 2 in a row here tonight. Gramis goes up to the number 2 spot. Look out, here we go. Joey Gramis going to be racing his way from the back up to the front. Into turn number 1. Into 3 and 4, final time. Checkered flag in the air. 2 in a row for Dan Pompey. Joey Gramis is 2nd. Kevin Hartnett 3rd. Mike Colston 4th. Brian the Dreamweaver is 5th.
Dylan Robinson's win in the 4-cylinder feature brought an end to the night's racing action. Friday night at Skyline Raceway Park, Buck Mills Sr., Shane Wolf Jr., Ton Bumpus, Dan Searles Stacy Jackson, Jim Rothwell, and John Traphagen all scored wins. At the Hill Speedway on Friday, the win list included a pair of wins for Brad Seitz in the IMCA Type Modifieds, along with Tommy Savercool, Casey McPherson, Larry Colton, and Craig Smith. Binghamton's Coleman Gulick topped a 19-car field of Lucas Oil Empire Super Sprints Friday night at Outlaw Speedway in Dundee. Matt Shepard was the modified winner. Todd Hayward, J.J. Mazier, Sean Bruce, Glenn Wittenauer, and Ray Heyer also scored wins. No report this week for Afton Motorsports Park. Brett Hearn and Kenny Tremont Jr. split modified doubleheaders Saturday at Lebanon Valley Speedway. Chad Pierce, Chris Lynch, Rick Duslak, Jay Casey, Tom Murphy, Al Relier, and Gary O'Brien also found victory lane. No report this week from Chemung Speedway's opener on Saturday. On Sunday, Skyline Raceway Park hosted the Grit Crate Sportsman Series, and the win went to Harold Humphrey. Chris Banofsky was the four-cylinder winner, and the street stock win went to Shane Wolf Jr. A reminder, you can send your track results or information about your race team to news@theracereport.tv. We'll hear from modified driver Matt Roberts when we return, but first, here's a look at this week's Car of the Week from Brush and Pallet Auto Sales in Candor.
"30 years of satisfied customers. That's the proud history of Brush and Pallet Auto in Candor. We have a large selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Here is this week's Car of the Week. We'll give you a $1,000 minimum trade-in, and we have financing options to fit your needs, including a first-time buyers program. Think you can't afford it? We think you can. Check us out at brush-pallet.com or visit us in person at 598 Owego Road in Candor, New York.
Unicorn Electronics in the Valley Plaza, Johnson City has the best pricing and selection of audio, video, and computer cables in the area. Don't spend a fortune on that HDMI cable for your new HD TV or Blu-ray player. Unicorn Electronics has quality cables in the lengths you need at a price you can afford. Expanding your network, Unicorn has the patch cables and accessories to make it happen. When you need to connect, think Unicorn Electronics in the Valley Plaza, Johnson City.
98.1 The Hawk, number one for 20 in a row.
This is Jason Aldean.
Hot new country.
This is Luke Brown.
This is Charles, Dave,
and Hillary.
and we are Lady Annabella.
And I don't know why you don't take me downtown anymore.
Binghamton's hot new country.
This is Carrie Underwood. Every tear sucked whiskey, memory blown away.
Binghamton's hot new country. 98.1 The Hawk.
Welcome back to the Race Report. They say the acorn doesn't fall far from the tree, and that certainly is the case with the father-son team of Gary and Matt Roberts. Gary is one of the area's top street stock and IMCA modified drivers, and Matt has parlayed his IMCA modified success into a dirt modified campaign at Afton Motorsports Park. Congratulations on a beautiful looking ride. Tell us about your plans for this season.
Thanks. I'm going to stick with Afton Motorsports Park to start with on Friday. All right, and then try to work the bugs out of it. And if we get going pretty decent, then we might venture out on Saturdays to 5 Mile or Thunder Mountain. Just kind of play it by ear.
What made you decide to go to Sportsman last year?
Last year is just I've always wanted to try that style of car as far as a sportsman. I was in the IMCA's and the street stocks and ran a bunch of different classes, but I wanted to try those. And then, this year I'm like, no, let's try modified. So I've always wanted to do a modified as far as growing up. You sit in the stands, you watch Carl Nagel, Mike Nagel, Mitch Gibbs, all those guys, and I wanted to get out there with them, and come true.
Okay, so let's talk about the car itself. Is this something brand new out of the box?
No, it's an old Billy Decker, Chad Cook car. It's 2011 Bicknell. Chad was running the train up to Thunder Mountain last year, and we took a lot of parts off of the crate car and put onto this and bought some new ones. And had Jim Gabriel put together a motor for me. I had a set of heads. And fairly competitive, I mean, as far as horsepower-wise and stuff. So car-wise, I think we'll get the bugs worked out. Would be pretty good. Sponsors on my car, Greg Page Construction.
That's what I tell everybody I know.
One, and Jim's East Coast Customs, they're the two biggest ones out of the hotel. They, without those guys behind
they
me,
actually were, because
we wouldn't even
before
have
we
the car
came
right
here,
now,
we didn't know anything about fracking.
And then it was Store 88 BC, them too. Just all of it. As far as the graphics, yeah, I do graphics. I'm known for graphics around here. Around 40, 50 cars, somewhere around there a year. And, I don't know, I guess people like my stuff, so I guess I just got to do it that way.
Side by side, off of 4, Cody Nielsen, Earl Zimmer, there we go. Green flag is out and we're racing. Zimmer will lead them down into 1 and 2, up on the top side. Lance and Albany, so we'll go 3-4 wide off of 2. Street stocks, oh boy, oh boy. The herd of them will run down into 3, off of 4 they come. Earl Zimmer, Lance Albanese, Jonathan Carpenter, and Damon Decker right there underneath for the 3rd position. Lance Albanese is wasting no time in going after Earl Zimmer. They had a great side-by-side battle in the heat race, and Albanese will take it in the feature. So Lance and Albanese to the lead. Jonathan Carpenter to second. Here's Damon Decker underneath Earl Zimmer down in the back straightaway. As they run into 3, off of 4. Lance Albanese with your lead. Jonathan Carpenter right there, not letting him get out of his sights. Can't do it. Crossover the front straightaway. Look at Jonathan Carpenter now, right to the inside of Lance Albanese. They run side by side into 1. Off of 2 they go. Jonathan Carpenter's your new leader. But Damon Decker is right there underneath Albanese into 3. Off of 4 they come. Damon Decker looking for position number 2. He'll secure it down into 1. Off of 2 they run. Lance Albanese trying to come back and underneath them. He's got the run down into 3. Off of corner number 4. The checkered flag is in the air. Give the win to the J12 of John Carpenter. Decker for 2. Earl Zimmer rounding out your top 3. Down to the back straightaway, Barry White in the 131, and Brent Wilcox will set the pace. We're going to double them up. 15 rows deep, over $500,000 in racing equipment. And we're ready to go green off of 4. We're racing down the front straightaway. Brent Wilcox, Barry White, hard contact. White gets around sideways. We got them all jammed up down the back straightaway. We got him going straight again. Hard contact was made between Barry White and the 46 of Jeremy Smith. Smith shrugs it off though. He goes after Randy Brokoff down to the back straightaway. Look underneath Brokoff. Into 3 off of 4. Give it to Wilcox. But right there on his heels, the 19X of Crystal. Jeremy Smith will roll it in hard around the top side, trying to get back to the bottom. But the 19X of Crystal is there. Wilcox, your leader. Chad Cook trying to make something happen on the outside. That triple deuce runs to the outside. Look at Chad Cook. He's trying to gain some momentum on the top side of this Thunder Mountain Speedway. Oh, we got ourselves contact down the back straightaway. Dan Creedon rutting in on the inside, trying to get the 46 out of the groove. But here comes Chad Cook right there on the bottom. Cook will take it to the outside. He gets in the back of Smith's 46, trying to switch lanes. Dan Creedon immediately goes to the outside in 1 and 2. He looks to the outside of the 27 car. They head down into 3 and 4. We're 2 wide for the lead. Off before they roll, but Wilcox has still got the upper hand. Creedon right there putting pressure on. Side by side for the lead off of 4. Dan Creedon, I believe, had it by a nose that lap. We got ourselves a new race leader down to the back straightaway. The Smoker's Choice 16X at Dan Creedon. He's got that Hig Fabrication 16X on a rail. One more time around this ultra-fast Thunder Mountain Speedway. For Dan Creedon, into 3, off of 4 he comes. The black and white silks are in the air. Give it to Dan Creedon at the line. For 2, it's going to be Brent Wilcox in the 27. The 46 of Jeremy Smith for 3. The 222 of Chad Cook will finish 4th.
Penn Can, Skyline, The Hill, and Outlaw all scheduled for racing Friday night. Thunder Mountain Speedway will host the Lightning on the Mountain on Sunday. Champion Speedway in Owego opens their 2017 season Sunday night at 6 p.m. with Speedway bikes and quads. Monday Night Racing Trivia takes the week off to celebrate Memorial Day, but please join us Monday, June 5th, as we begin our summer season with thousands of dollars in cash and prizes, including remote car starters, TVs, tools, clothing, and cash. Everyone who plays is eligible to win prizes, and you don't need to be a racing genius to win. Racing action from Penn Can and Thunder Mountain are available on DVD. You can order at theracereport.tv. For you sprint car fans, you can get Friday and Saturday's CRSA Heat and Feature action on one DV for just $15. Once again, that's at theracereport.tv. We leave you with more highlights from Thunder Mountain Speedway. For the entire staff of the Race Report, thanks for watching. Until next week, I'm Ron Hills, and I'll see you at the races.
Green is out, and we are racing down the front straightaway. Eric lead at the bottom. J.R. Fulberg, big run on the outside. Here's Eddie White, 3 wide into 3 and 4. Fast, Eddie White will take the lead off of quarter number 4. Eric Lee just got shuffled out of the groove. And he's back underneath Fulberg for second, though. Eric Lee will take second back over as J.R. Fulberg will settle into third. And now the 22 of Chris Jordan. So Fast Eddie White in control of this one now. Eddie White just excelling off these corners here tonight. I believe that's a crate motor under the hood of that 20 car. Not for sure, but he blew up his motor last week. With 3 laps to go, there is nobody in sight of that 20 car. Off of quarter number 4, the parallel popsicle sticks are in the air. 2 more trips around this speedway. And Eddie White has got the Amy's Daycare STP car number 20 up front and rolling. The white silk has been displayed. 1 more trip around the ultra-fast Thunder Mountain Speedway. The Binghamton, New York chauffeur driving the Amy's Daycare STP Racing car number 20. Fast Eddie White is your winner here tonight. Followed by the 11X of Eric Lee, the 22J of Chris Jordan, the 34X of Chance Spoonhauer, and rounding out your top 5, the 06 of Larry Meckick.